let's get ourselves warmed up. So, my clock, lovely. So we'll get ourselves marching on the spot. Lovely, getting that marching. Getting some rotation in that upper body as well. Lovely, and then we're going to step it out and back in. Lovely, okay, and then we're just going to keep marching. We're going to go through those wrists, get our joints all mobilized. Going the other direction. Lovely, as always, go at your pace when we go through the movements today. So going in your shoulders. And forwards. Lovely, and then we're just going to keep those legs apart a little bit, and then we're just going to reach across our bodies, getting some rotation. Brilliant, okay, and then we're going to go into our hip circles. The direction. Lovely, and we're just going to reach forwards and backwards, so just getting those knees from those hamstrings. Okay, and then we're going to go down into a squat, which is going to do our ankles at the same time. So you're going to reach up in between. Really good. Oh, my it's come undone. Pulling down. Again, if you can't reach above your head, that's absolutely fine. You can move your hands forward, or at least just to the range of motion that you have. Lovely. And then we're just going to have our arms out nice and wide, and then we're going to reach down to our knees. Again, keeping those legs relatively straight, so they can have a little bit of a bend, but we're just kind of hinging at the hips, getting those hamstrings. You might feel a nice stretch in those hamstrings. Lovely. And then we're just going to like let those arms be floppy, have a little bounce on the spot. Again, taking any tension out of those shoulders. Taking a nice deep breath in and then out. Lovely. Okay. So in terms of your weights today, you're going to need a set of dumbbells. You can do this either with one big dumbbell or two smaller ones, depending on what you have at home. Okay. And we're going to be doing essentially either an upper body exercise and then a lower body exercise. Then we're going to kind of combine them together. So for those of you who came last week, we would have done this one. Okay. I'm just going to get my weight options just to reflect what you might have at home. Okay. So I've got two lightish ones, or I've got a biggish one here. Okay. So our first exercise is an overhead press. Okay. So you can either have your one dumbbell and do your overhead press like so, or if you've got two lighter ones for the same time, you can do alternating ones. Again, you just do what feels good for you. Okay. So when you're ready, we'll do our 45 seconds, and then we'll have 15 seconds rest before we go into our next exercise. So again, you've got that option to do alternating, or you can do your overhead press like so, okay? And again, whenever we're doing that overhead press, try and keep those knees soft. If we lock out, we end up putting a lot of pressure through our low back. So just keep those knees soft. And 2, 1, rest there. Well done. Okay. So our next exercise we're going to be doing is a squat. Okay. So you can hold your weight sort of in this position. So by your shoulders. Okay. And then we're just going to do our squat, coming up and down like so. You can absolutely do that from your chair. So sit to stands. If that is somewhere you need to go or start with. Make sure you use that exhale on exertion. So we're inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Again, I'd like you to really think about pushing through your feet to get back up again. Just notice the difference that you feel in your buttocks when you're kind of really focusing on pushing the ground away rather than trying to snake your body up with your back. And rest there. Well done. Okay, now we're going to add in, basically put those two movements together. So we're going to go into our squat, into an overhead press. Okay, when you're ready, in 2, 1, and go. Squat down, overhead press. Squat down, overhead press. And again, same principle, inhale down, exhale, press that weight above you. Okay, one more. Really good, well done. Shake that out. Okay, so we're gonna go into our next exercise. So we're gonna go into a bicep curl for our first exercise. And again, just controlling that weight, whatever you have, like so. If you've only got one, then you can go up and down like so. So when you're ready, we'll go again in about 3 seconds, 2, 1, and go. So coming up and then controlling down. Coming up, controlling down. Up, control down. Really good. If you've got two, then you can use both. Well done. And 2, 1, and rest there. Well done. And then we're going to go into our Romanian deadlift. So this is our kind of movement going down into our legs. So we're going to allow those weights to kind of just be in front of our legs like this. If you've just got the one big one, it's the same principle. What we don't want to do is just curve down in through our upper back like this. We want to send our bum backwards, keeping that back nice and straight, allowing those weights to kind of trickle down the fronts of our legs, just below our knees. Basically, you want to get your weight as low down as possible without bending your back like this, because I could bend more and get them lower to the ground, but that's not really the point of this. The point of this is to really lengthen through the backs of the legs and then push the ground away again. Inhale down, exhale up. If hinging feels uncomfortable for you, then you can make it more of what we call a squinge, which is like a squat and a hinge at the same time. So that is just bending down a little bit more. If that feels more comfortable, that's absolutely fine. At the end of the day, these sessions are here to help you move. We're not here for perfection. We're just here to, make exercise as accessible to everyone going through what you're going through at the moment. So, just making sure you just find the movement that feels comfy for you and your body. what feels safe ultimately. Okay, rest there. Well done. Okay, now we're going to combine those two exercises, okay? So when you're ready, you're going to go down into your hinge, and then you're going to come up and then do your bicep curl. Twist it round, come down, come up, like so. So you're getting a little bit more rotation with that bicep curl because you're having to twist it round as it comes back down. Sort of like your palms facing your legs, twist it round to come up for your bicep curl. And as you come down, twist them at the bottom, like so. Really good. Again, if that hinge doesn't feel nice, again, we can do a squinge instead. And 2, 1, and rest there. Well done. Okay, we're going to go through those exercises again. So we're going to go back to our overhead press, into our squat, and then our squat to overhead press. And then we're going to go back to our bicep curl to Romanian deadlifts, okay? So just have, again, another sort of 30 seconds rest here, just so that we're getting adequate rest so that our bones and our muscles can get stronger. Again, wriggle it out. Again, notice any sensations in your body. They might be, this feels okay today, or this might be like, no, not so much. So again, just listen to your body, make sure you adapt accordingly, okay? So grab your weight. We're going to get back into our overhead press when you're ready, and go. So again, you've got that option to do 2 at a time or alternate. Really good, well done. Again, you might have weights that you can tolerate doing 2 at a time. And again, some of you might have really heavy weights that you can only manage 1 at a time. That's absolutely fine too. Okay, rest there. Okay, then we're going to go into our squat. So again, if you want to change up the weight dynamic, then you can. So again, I'm going to put my weights by my shoulders when you're ready, and go. So I'm going to sit back and push the ground away. Again, sit to stands is squat. Don't forget that. Again, if you are using a chair and you're like, oh, it feels a bit too easy, or you're just trying to manage your fatigue level, again, just slowing that movement down towards the chair can really help you to build strength in your legs without having to really use a lot of inertia to get yourself back up again. Okay, 1 more. Okay, 15 seconds rest here. Okay, so now we're going to combine those 2 movements together. So you've got your squat to overhead press. Okay, when you're ready, in 2, 1, and go. So you're going to squat down, overhead press. Squat down, overhead press. Again, you can do 1 at a time. If your arms are feeling tired, you can just alternate if that feels good for you. Okay, 1 more. Really good. Rest there. Okay, so we're going to go into our bicep curls now. So we've got that 15 seconds rest. We're going to bring our arms up, and then we're going to control that movement down. Okay, when you're ready, and go. If you're in your chair, you can sit here. Again, we're just working those biceps. Nice and controlled on the way down. And again, making sure you're really elongating those muscles, so lengthening them all the way down to the bottom. And then pulling back up again. Well done. Okay, last one then. Fab. 15 seconds rest here. Then we're going to go into our Romanian deadlift. So again, keeping that upper back posture, okay? Sitting your bum backwards, letting that weight go down past your knees, and then drive your body back up again. So I like to inhale down, get to like here, push your feet through the ground like you're squashing some tomatoes underneath your feet, and you're exhaling to come back up again. And we're just doing the hinge part. We'll add the bicep curl in a second. So going down and up. Again, if the hinge feels too much, make a little bit of a bum down to the ground. That, like your little squinge. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Have a rest there. Then we're going to add those two movements together. So we're going to do our bicep curl, but as we come down, we're going to twist our arms so our hands are facing towards our thighs. Then we're going to go down into that hinge or your swinge, and then repeat the process. Okay, when you're ready, and go. Bicep curl, control it down. So you're getting a little bit more rotation on those bicep heads. Going down, and back up again. Really good, everyone, well done. Again, if this is the first time you've ever done movement like this, particularly the hinges, again, please be kind to yourself. They do take time to master. Okay, and rest there, well done. Okay, take a longer rest there, pop your weights down, have a drink. Well done. Oh, yes, lovely. So with our next round, you're going to need your dumbbell, and then I'll do a chair variation, particularly for the second set of movements, just so that some people get down on the ground and that's quite easy for them, but you're still going to get a lot of benefit from doing a chair variation as well. And I'll give you some reasons for doing the chair variation when we get there. Okay, so our first exercise in this second part of our workout is actually I'm going to use this one. So we're going to be doing a front raise. Again, you can use 2 together if you wanted to, or use just one on its own. Okay, so we're just doing this front raise like so. Again, we're not locking the knees out, just keep them nice and soft, and then we're going to go up and down. Okay, so this is your first movement. And again, anything when we're doing exercise, it's just be a bit more intentional with it. Again, if we're just sort of going up and down, it's not really going to do a lot. We're not really going to stimulate those muscles as much as if we do it with a bit more control. And it just helps us get into a bit more of a flow state where we sort of keep everything a little bit more controlled. We can focus on our breath. And although exercise is a stress on the body, we don't want to be adding additional stress to the system. So again, just doing some nice breathing, using it as a mindfulness practice. Okay, rest there. Brilliant. Okay, next up, we have got our split squat. Okay, so we're going to do half the time on one side and half the time in the other. And what this looks like is, imagine that I'm on a ladder. So one foot's on one or a train track, one foot's on one part of the rail, other foot's on the other side. So I'm not on a tight rope, I'm kind of here, okay? And then I'm going to put a majority of my weight, I would say about 70 to 80% of my weight through the front leg, okay? So if you're kind of shifting forwards, okay, you want the majority of that weight in that front leg, okay? So that looks not like this, but that, okay? And then that foot is there just to help support you with your balance, okay? You can use the wall for support if you need to, and you just pop the weight in one hand. Then we're going to drop that back knee down towards the ground, okay? And you go at whatever depth feels good for you, okay? So inhale down, exhale up. You can hold your weight wherever you like, okay? Brilliant. Again, making sure the majority of that weight's in the front foot, keep that big toe in contact with the ground. Okay, and then replicate that on the other side, sorry, not the same side, on the other side. So again, try and get that majority of that weight through the front, drop that knee down, push through the ground to get yourself back up again. Again, if you need to drop the weight down by your side and just support yourself with the wall or the chair, that is also absolutely fine. Your legs are going to be doing all the work. You're not cheating by having support from a chair or the wall. It helps with your balance, helps everything feel a bit safer. Fab. Lovely. Right, now we're going to add in the front raise, okay? So you can still do this with support of the wall, okay? And you're just going to be front raising with one arm, and then when we swap over, we'll do the other side. In fact, we'll do that together, okay? So when you're ready, we'll do that one side. So as you go down, you're going to lift that weight up in front of you for your front raise, and then come back up again. So this is like called a split squat. Sit that knee down and come back up again. You can have two hands if you're just balancing on and you're not using that support. But just make sure you're pushing that weight through the front leg to get you back up. Okay, switch sides. So again, if I'm holding onto the wall here, I can do like so. If I'm not holding onto the wall, bringing the arm up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And rest there. Well done. Okay, right. For our next exercises, we are going to be using the floor. So I'm going to show the floor variations and then I'll show the chair variations. So for the floor variations, we're going to be on 4-point kneeling, okay? I'm going to start off by doing some rotations, like so, with our arms up. And then our second exercise is coming into a forward lunge, coming like this. And again, it's like a nice low lunge, trying to get that knee over our toes if we can. What that looks like on the chair is here, reaching up. And if you are doing this, you are getting that knee down, like so. If you can't, for example, some people can get on all fours and they can do that fine, but they can't do the lunge very easily. If that is the case, I would just stick to doing everything on the chair, because when we start combining them together, you're not going to be able to do one on the floor and then come up and stand and do the chair. It's not going to work, okay? So just pick the chair variation if that's you, okay? So when you're ready, we're just going to do our time for the rotations. Okie dokie, when you're ready, and go. Really good. Rotation through our spine. Again, if you just want to just lead with your elbow and just minimize that rotation, that's absolutely fine too. Okay, rest there. Okay, now we're going to be doing just the low lunge component. So your low lunge is going to be step forward, again, sort of driving that knee towards or over your toe, step it back, like so. I'll do the chair variation for this one. Okay, when you're ready, and go. So you're going to basically come into a bit of a plank position, and then you're going to step to the side of your chair, like so. Again, getting your knee as far over your toe as possible because we're getting that nice ankle mobility as well. Inhale down, exhale out. And rest there, well done. Okay. So what that's going to look like together is we are going to do our rotation, okay? No, apologies. We're going to do our step forward, then we're going to do our rotation, come back, step forward with the other one, and then do that rotation, okay? Show you on the floor, so when you're ready, and go. So for those that are stepping down on the ground, you've got your two hands, the middle hand between your foot and the other hand is the one that's coming up, coming down, step forward, rotate up, come down. Again, we'll have another opportunity to go through these. So again, if it feels imperfect at the moment, you are learning, that is absolutely fine. Inhale up, exhale, change over. Okay, one more. Well done. Okay, have a little moment there. And then we will get back to our front raises and our split squat. Lovely. Okay, so when you're ready, we're just going to pick up those weights, either your two light ones or one big one, and we're going to go into our front raises. Again, making sure that tempo is just nice, slow and controlled. Quickly up, but slowly down. Really good. Okay, one more. Fab. Okay, then we're going to go into our split squat. So we're not adding the front raise in, it's just purely the split squat on its own. Okay, but you can still hold on to your weight. I like to hold mine in front of my chest. Okay, when you're ready, do one leg, one side first. So dropping that knee down, again, making sure most of your weight's in that front foot, if you can. Push through that front leg. Often people try and do a split squat with their weight at the back, and it really feels quite odd, and it feels not very nice in your hips or your ankles. So making sure your weight is pivoted more towards the front, and then that knee just has a bit more space, and those hips can move in a better position. Use that inhale down, exhale up, and then switch sides. Again, if you need the support of the chair or the wall, you can change the position of your dumbbell and have that support. Particularly if that big toe or those feet are weak, then you just might need that little bit of support just while you practice and get better at these movements. Really good. Okay, and rest there. Right, now we're going to add in complexity with the front raise. Okay, so go back to your leg that you started with. Try not to do the same leg that you've just done because you might feel a bit tired doing that. Okay, and when you're ready, you're going to front raise as you drop the knee down and bring it back down as you stand up. like so. Keep going on that side. If you need that support, just do one arm as you go down. Really good. And then switch sides. So drive that weight forward, drop the knee down, push through that front foot. So like you're imagining going up and down on a lift. Going up and down, rather than forwards and backwards. Really good. And rest there. Fab. Pop that weight down. And then into our last move. So you've either got your chair variation or down on the ground. So if you're on all fours, like I am on the chair here, you can stay down on the ground or stay here with me. Okay, when you're ready, in 2, 1, and go. So doing that rotation up. Just alternating. Have a little bend in these knees, particularly if you're on the chair. If you're straight-legged, it's not going to feel very nice. Just a little bend. Just helps you get a bit more rotation in your pelvis and your spine. Opening out. Inhaling into that expansion. Really good. Okay, one more. Lovely. Okay. If you're kneeling on the ground, then you're going to be bringing one leg up towards your hands. If you're on the chair like me, then you are going to be stepping to the side of your chair, coming back like so. Okay, when you're ready, and go. Inhale, step, exhale to step away, or just back up again. So generally that exhale is on the foot. I always sort of link them together, 2 E's, a foot and exhale. Helps us to engage our core when we need it as well. Really good. Okay, lovely. Rest there for a second. Now we're going to add in those 2 movements. So what that's going to look like is if you get on the ground, you're going to step your foot forward. This middle hand is going to rotate up, and then you're going to swap sides. When you're ready, and go. On the chair, step forward, rotate, step back, step forward, rotate. Almost there, guys. Well done. Nearly there. One more. And you are done. Well done. Really good. We should definitely be warm. So, as we're recording today, I will do most of the stretching from a chair, but I'll show some floor variations for those that want to stay down on the ground. Okay, so if you're sat on the ground, you can just sitting on your bottom. You can cross your legs if you want to. You can sit yourself on a cushion if that feels a bit nicer for your spine, and be able to tilt that pelvis a little bit. And then we're just going to start off with just bringing that heart rate down with some good breath work. Okay, so again, just don't force anything, but just start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And it might be quite quick to start with. And as you take those inhales and those exhales, see if you can just slow them down. As you inhale, you're expanding your abdomen. Almost like you're blowing up a balloon inside your body as you inhale. And as you exhale, that balloon is deflating. Elongate that exhale. Notice how your heart rate starts to shift, being a little bit slower. The control that you have over your breathing is starting to improve. Your core temperature is starting to come down too. And then with every exhale, I just want you to imagine any tension that you've got in your body, so whether that's in your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. Just try and soften those with every exhale. And then bringing your awareness down into your shoulders. And on your next exhale, just letting them go a little bit more. Again, bring your awareness down into your tummy. Are you holding your tummy? So you're not really getting a full expansion of your abdomen. Just let your tummy go. See if you can direct that breath down into your pelvis. Lovely. If you're on the floor, I'd like you to bring your hand to your side and then leaning over. If you're on your chair, just hold onto your chair. And then we're going to really kind of lengthen up, reaching up. So it's not about getting really far over. It's really about kind of reaching up, really expanding this side here. And just take 3 deep breaths into that side. So direct your breath there. Really directing it into the back of your rib cage as well on that side. And then on your last exhale, come back to your center. And then do the same on the other side. So really reaching up. Inhale, expand through the side and into the back. And then on that last exhale, coming back, really good. Now bringing your hands onto your low back hips, we're going to pull those elbows together like they've got magnets on them. And then we're really going to just focus on expanding through those shoulders, the upper chest as well. Using our breath to help us to kind of internally massage these areas of our bodies, just to relieve any restriction or tension. Do 3 breaths here. Lovely. And then we're going to wrap our arms around the front. Okay, so I'm kind of effectively pulling my elbows away. And then I really want to direct my breath into my back. Okay, so again, really expanding the back of the rib cage. Nice deep breath into that space. Exhale. Deflate that balloon like you're inhaling, big balloon inside. And then exhale. Deflate. Last one. Lovely. Okay, if you're on the ground, you're going to get one leg out to the side, and then you can bring that other foot kind of into your inner thigh if you're on the ground. If you're on the chair, we're just going to sit our bum on the edge of the chair, and we're going to get our, let me move that a little bit. You're going to have your foot out in front of you, and everyone, regardless if you're on the ground or not, we're going to hinge forward. So it's not about bending our back to get to the toes. It is just purely about keeping a nice straight long back, hinging at the hip, and you'll feel a nice stretch along the back of the hamstrings. So it's about trying to get this nice stretch through the back of the leg, pulling your toe towards you as well, and making sure we're breathing. Again, shouldn't be painful. You might feel a bit of discomfort, but just breathing. And on that last exhale, see if you can just do a little bit further reach and then come back. Switch sides. If you're on the ground, put the other leg out to the side, bring the other foot side. If you're just on your chair, you just have one foot on the ground, one leg there. And again, just hinging at the hips, pulling your toes towards you. And just taking again those 3 breaths. And getting that exhale. You'd be really surprised at how much further you can get with every exhale. Really good. Lovely. Okay, if you're on the ground, you're going to come onto your hands and knees for a cat-cow. If you're on your chair standing, then we're going to come into this 4-point position here. And then again, same principle for everyone. If you're on the ground, we're going to shine our sit bones towards the sky, and then we're going to shine them down, okay? So we're going to open up those sit bones, sort of almost like we've got a light on our buttocks, so we want to shine the light up, and then we're going to tuck that tailbone under, shining the light down towards the ground. Just getting that movement. Again, if you still want to stay sat on the chair, you can just do the same principle, sitting in your chair, getting that nice spinal mobility. Opening up the chest again. This feels a little bit nicer for those that are on the chair. Fabulous. And then you're going to come up to standing. If you're on the ground, just take your time. And then we like to finish off with a nice deep breath in. We're going to reach ourselves up all the way down to the ground, reaching up as tall as possible, all the way out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, reach. And then give yourselves a round of applause. Well done, everyone. Really good.